Hello and good evening. Day 21. A couple of things that have been very different today. So one is it's taken me quite a long time to actually, I think, understand what the message from the Tao was today, the specifics of it. And the way that I've interpreted today, and I've had to rely quite a lot today on Wayne Dyer's book actually, and how Wayne describes how he interpreted the Tao, about focusing not only on beginnings, but the moment before things begin, to pay attention to the gap, to pay attention to the silence between words, the silence between phrases, the stuff that is in what we would talk about in physics as the quanta, in I suppose in everyday stuff, just the silence, in the nothingness, because that's where things stop and that's where things start. So metaphorically, that must be the place where things die and things are born. So therefore then metaphorically that must be the place where there is a sort of universal sense of energy, and maybe the universal source of all energy. That sounds quite a grand thing, and maybe a little bit too grand for a Tuesday night, I don't know. Today's also been one of the first days that I've not been near the sea, which is quite interesting. And today has also been the first day back at school for my children, so it's been quite interesting not having them around and their behaviour and what goes on as part of the bulk of how I've focused on today. Gratitude is very naturally featured quite heavily today. When you focus on the stuff that sits in the silences, you become quite acutely aware of being really attentive to people. I felt very definitely today, there's a phrase that I use on nearly all of my courses, and I ask people, are they a listener or are they a wait to speaker? And very definitely at times people are a wait to speaker. I do my best to work very hard to make sure that I listen to people, and we know we're doing that because we get to the end of when people have finished speaking, and then there'll be a pause, and then we will then speak, having listened to everything they've had to say. Whereas the wait to speakers, they've heard one or two things, maybe one or two words or a particular word in something someone said, and then they're off, they're thinking, and they're reacting to their own thoughts rather than necessarily, and what was triggered by what was said rather than actually what was actually said. And so I consider myself to be quite an attentive man and really focus hard and work hard to be truly attentive to how people are in the world. And today, by focusing on the stuff in the middle, the in-breath, the out-breath, being really just very attentive to those moments of silence, and also being completely aware within myself in the moments where there appears to be nothing, before you start thinking, what happens before you perform an action or think about lifting your arm, and it makes you acutely aware of your breathing actually. So today has been a powerful day, and I've said that a lot during this journey, but today's been a day where just naturally been really attentive to people, really attentive to people actually, and not that surprised me, but also just how easy it has been to be attentive. So I think on reflection, the quality of the communication I've had with people today has felt more enriching somehow. And actually not really done a huge amount today, other than I don't know, drop the kids off at school, make some telephone calls and stuff. But today has just felt very enriching, felt very, very rich and very full, and have been very, not only attentive to the people around me just very naturally, but also very, very, very sensitive to my own experience, noticing how things are starting within me, being aware of the origin of thoughts or ideas by just concentrating on the space that, and noticing the space that isn't there before it happens, has somehow been really motivational, because you watch it happen and you just are aware. So today has been really cool, even though initially it felt quite hard work to determine what the Tao was saying. But yeah, on reflection, a pretty cool day as ever. So I will see you day 22. But just incredible, 3 weeks in, and yeah, 7 to go, 8 to go. Anyway, maths was never my strong point, but I'll see you all soon.